This is our group project part 2, and we're talking about the issues with our original solution, or our original problem. Our original problem is that a student named Lee is a transfer student at our middle school, and he is having issues where he might get bullied because of his huge culture differences.
Yeah, so some of the things that we thought that Lee might get bullied for is that he'll probably have an accent because he is a transfer student from an Asian country, and the other students will not be used to Lee's accent, or they might not be used to his accent, and they could potentially tease him for it. Another thing that he could be potentially bullied for is not understanding the different social cues and norms of his classmates and peers. While his classmates are familiar with and understand the school day schedule, Lee is often lost and confused at the different bells and class time transitions, and his classmates could potentially tease him for his misunderstandings rather than helping him learn the ways of the school and their classroom. Another thing that Lee could potentially be teased for is that his mom probably packs him a nice lunch full of seaweed snacks and rice and red bean rolls, and instead of a fork or spoon to eat his food with, he'll probably have chopsticks in his lunch bag, and the kids will probably make fun of him for that and for the unusual foods that he's eating. And I think that a way that we could help solve these problems or prevent these problems from happening is that we could assign him a welcome group and make sure that these particular students are taking care of him and making sure that he's not alone or that he's not confused or lost.
And with that, there are going to be a lot of culture issues that we think will come up. Some of them, she mentioned, like the chopsticks issue and the food issue would be a couple of the issues that might show up. But we were also worried about Asian cultures and Western cultures are so vastly different. There's things like personal space that could be an issue. Asian cultures oftentimes don't see personal space as big of an issue as Western cultures do. Or eye contact. We think it's a sign of respect to show eye contact. Some Asian cultures see it as disrespectful, or it's just something that they wouldn't normally do. Those are just some of the bigger issues that come up, and then in conversations there would be issues with just the way that Lee could talk. Asian cultures are high context, where Western cultures are more low context. So high context being where they kind of work around problems. They're not super direct. They're often make sure that they're very polite, whereas Western cultures, we just get right to the point. We talk about what we feel is necessary, and these are just some of the culture issues that we believe could come up with this transfer student in our classroom, and that we kind of will talk about the overall solution that we came up with.
So we believe a good solution to help Lee and the other immigrants to better fit in would be to have a multicultural night for the school. This would entail a night full of authentic games and foods to include everyone, and they could see kind of the best and most fun aspects of each culture. This would make the other cultures more normal and easier to understand. And it would be a night where the parents and students could connect with one another and create that positive social atmosphere. And this also means that the teachers would need to be aware of the students individually to be able to help those like Lee to fit in as well as possible to this environment that is new and unfamiliar to them. It's also important to be able to educate students that differences are not necessarily wrong, they're just differences, and they can be beneficial, and they make us unique.
Yep. So we hope that as future teachers and future educators that we'll be able to address these problems in a very mature manner that the students will be able to understand and carry with them throughout their lives.